Hello everyone and welcome to Trades of the Week with myself, Keith Sullivan, and as you can see, it will be with myself today. Unfortunately, Dennis and Marcus are not here, but we've got a lot of valuable information where we're telling you where we get into the market, what we've got out of, and also we are giving you an update on the market itself. So what happened with Binance? Is your coin safe? And also Kim Kardashian and the SEC, what has happened there? We are going to discuss it all in Trades of the Week. Now, before we get started, we are just going to talk about the I Am Insider Facebook community and join in the I Am Insider Facebook group with the link that is below or in the description. So what is the I Am Insider Facebook group? It is a community that we have created with like-minded people who want to learn how to invest and trade in the market. Now, it's not just a community where you can ask questions and gain support from each other. It's also a place where we give you stocks of the weeks. We look at the crypto of the week. We look at the top gainers and losers. And once a quarter, we do our Facebook Live, where it's a 1 hour live stream within the private group where we go through all of your questions for 1 hour completely for free. So this is no charge. So use the link in the description below to join the I Am Insider Facebook group, to join the amazing community to get you started with investing and trading. Now, with that being said, let's move on to see what is happening in the stock market. In regards to the stocks trades that we had, the first one we had was the Cheesecake Factory, CAKE, and in this one we got stopped out at a 1% profit. So this time it is a moo. We have made profit on the Cheesecake Factory. The profit never tasted so good. Now, that was a little pun there. The next thing is Shake Shack, and in this one we are just hovering around break even. It's not really going up, it's not really going down, it's just kind of moving sideways. So we're just waiting for the break lower, but we're at break even here. Unfortunately, on CHRW, which is CH Robson's Worldwide, we had a 1% loss over the last few days. So that's not a moo, that is a boo. And actually, it's ironic that we've got our Halloween theme right now. So now we are seeing a 1% loss, but that's not too bad because we only risk 1% while making 3, 4, 5% on some trades. And as you see, with Cake making 1% and CHRW losing 1%, we're actually at break even on the account. The next one that we have is FORG, and this one we got stopped out at break even yesterday. As you see, the market pushed 1-to-1 and then has stopped us out at break even. So that's neither a moo or a boo this time. Now, before we get into our two new stocks of the week, let's give a quick market update, because over the last few days, what have we seen in the market? We've seen a potential bearish movement. I say potential because we have seen the market trading lower over the last few days. So if we look at our US 30, over the last few days, we had traded from 30,000, nearly 30,500, all the way down to 28,000. So we are seeing bearish moves in the market. Now, what is causing the bearish move? There was a couple of news announcements that came out last week. Number one was non-farm payroll. Now, if you don't know what non-farm payroll is, it's basically how many jobs has the US economy created over the last month, so month on month. Now, with non-farm payroll, it was actually lower than analysts expected. Okay, now, is that really need for a negative reaction in the market? Potentially, because it's lower what the analysts expected. But it's still showing a strong labour market. And in a recessionary environment, we naturally don't see this. We do not see a strong labour market. Jobs being created, wages are increasing to combat what inflation is doing. So people are still being paid more now to combat the inflation. Now, why do we have a negative effect on the market then? Because surely creation of new jobs is good for the US economy. More wages is good because it means more money being spent. But it all comes down to interpretation. Now, with a strong labour market, that is giving an interpretation to investors that the Federal Reserve have a good foundation in which they can increase interest rates. So obviously we know that the Federal Reserve are doing something known as QT, quantitative tightening, to slow down the economy, to bring down inflation. Now, with a strong labour market, it means they can still be as hawkish as they need to be to carry on increasing interest rates to bring down inflation. And this is the fear in the market, because we were expecting the Federal Reserve to potentially pivot on increasing interest rates, because we've seen it all around the world. We've seen central banks, we've seen the ECB in Europe, we've seen the BOE in the UK start quantitative easing, buying bonds. We've seen in Australia, they are actually lowering interest rates compared to what analysts expected. So everyone else around the world is pivoting, and now it's waiting on America to do that. Now, with that being said, over the week, we also see the Federal Reserve speaking in numerous states across the US, and it all come with one unite message, and that is we are not pivoting. Inflation is still too high. We need to be hawkish on our increase of interest rates, so we are now not pivoting in the market, and that has caused a further exacerbation lower. The last bit of news that we've got is CPI, and once again, this is the price index for inflation, and this is coming out on Thursday, which could be the next catalyst before the market trades lower, because analysts are expecting CPI to be higher than the previous month, because we've got the lagging indicator of property now coming into play. So we could be seeing CPI actually increasing over this month, which could cause a further drop lower. Now, I know what you're all thinking there. Keith, thank you so much for telling me this. I've learned one or two little things, but what does this all mean? So what? The main thing we need to be doing is we need to be hedged. Okay, so we want to be buying as that market goes down with our VCA, so we're liquid enough to keep buying companies, and we want to be more short bias at this moment in time because the market is showing bearish movements. So that is it for now. Just be more shorts if you are doing Buffalo trades. Also have one or two longs because you want to be hedged, but also make sure you're liquid enough to buy solid blue chip companies. And I know you're saying, Keith, it's the same message, but it's that repetition that needs to come across so you understand this is what you need to do while the market's being like this. So with that being said, let's have a look at our two new opportunities for this week. We have the ticker R, Rider Systems, where we're currently sitting on a downwards trending level of resistance being formed since October last year. So we've been downwards trending for a year where the market was making new lows. And here we are looking at a ratio of 3.71. So we've got our entry price, if I zoom in a bit, just below our candles here, stop loss just above the bounce, and our take profit just at the low here. So we are looking at a 3.27 to 1 ratio. Now, what does that mean? Every $1 that you risk, you can potentially make $3.75. So if it comes down to our take profit, we 3 times our risk, which is great. So that's the first one, Rider System. Our second one is HES, and that is Hess Corporation. We've been seeing a horizontal level of resistance around 129.80. Each time it's come up to this price, what has happened? The market has fallen lower, it's come down, it's fallen lower again. So we are expecting the similar trend to continue. We are currently on our third bounce, and ratio-wise, we are getting a 3.82 to 1. So now we're expecting this market to hit our level of resistance, which it has, and begin to trade lower. Now, if we release our inner Dennis, one of the best things that Dennis looks for is a red candle when it is on the level of resistance. And here we've got 2 days of selling. So that is giving us an interpretation that it has respected this level of resistance, and we could be looking to trade lower. So that's our new opportunities when it comes to Buffalo. Remember, if the market is showing us bearish movements in the overall market, we are looking more short bias, so looking at more shorting opportunities, and these are 2 good shorting opportunities that we have valid from today. Other than that, let's move over swiftly to the crypto market, where we have a lot of news around cryptocurrency. Some of the big news out there is all about Binance and how Binance got hacked for over $500 million worth of cryptocurrency. We also have the Kim Kardashian news. So let's go into the news right now. And the first bit, as I said, was all about Binance and the Binance smart chain being hacked for over $500 million, where the hacker identified a little bug within the Binance smart chain and started taking money out. Now, what does that mean? Do we all panic? Do we all run? Do we have to say, sell Binance coin? No. It was on the Binance smart chain. Our cryptos are still safe on our exchanges. Okay, so don't worry about this hack. It didn't affect the cryptos that we've got currently saved on the exchange. Okay, so that's the first point. Number 2 is they swiftly suspended Binance chain. They got rid of the bug and they've repaired it. Okay, and that shows us how strong Binance is as an exchange, that they were able to do that within a few hours. So I wouldn't be too scared. It's not had a massive impact. We're seeing exchanges being hacked all the time, but Binance is still one of the largest exchanges. But if you are fearful, even though our money is still safe in the Binance exchange, then what can you do? The main thing that you can do is take your coins off the exchanges and place them in an atomic wallet or a ledger. Okay, that is off the exchange. They're known as cold wallets. Okay, meaning they're not connected to the internet at that point. So therefore, it is harder for anyone to hack and steal your cryptos. So if you are a bit wary now keeping your cryptos on Binance, but once again, security-wise is still relatively safe, and I've still got coins saved on Binance, you can move them across onto a ledger or atomic wallet. That's number one. Now, what does this mean for Binance price? Not really much. Okay, it's a little bit of negative news. It doesn't really affect the project itself. Everyone is still utilizing Binance. It is still the largest exchanges worldwide. So it's not really going to have a negative effect on Binance's price. So that's the first bit of news. So please do not worry about that. The second bit of news that we're going to go into is all about Kim Kardashian, and Kim Kardashian being sued by the SEC for a NFT project which went wrong. Now, why are we telling you this? It's not for clickbait. It's not just to be on trend with Kim Kardashian. It's an important message. If you are looking at getting into any cryptos or any NFTs, do not buy them blindly just because it's endorsed by a celebrity. Okay? Do not go and buy a coin because I endorse it. I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but do not buy anything that's endorsed by any celebrities or role models, because you have to do your own research. We do not know if that project is safe. Some celebrities can get paid to endorse projects. I've seen it happen. So you do not need to be buying into projects just because it's endorsed by a celebrity. Do your due diligence, do your risk management and go, okay, is the project safe? What is the team like? Does it provide utility? Is there potential for adoption? And is that crypto or project going to grow? Okay, so that's the bit of news from that with Kim Kardashian. And she's paid, I think she's paid it all back, which the SEC has fined her. But just do your due diligence. Don't buy willy-nilly because the celebrity says so. Okay? So that is pretty much it for the crypto section. Now, if we have a look at what's happening in regards to Bitcoin's price, we are still seeing that Bitcoin is sitting on a level of resistance. Well, it's coming back down to a level of support, apologies. And we are seeing a downwards trend in resistance. So what is that giving us the interpretation? Each time the markets come up to the support, it's created lower highs, showing us a weakening of the support level potentially. Now, does it always play out that now this support level is going to be broken? No. But we could expect over the next few days a bit more of a consolidation down to the support and then just consolidate within the range. And then it will either break above or break below. Now, we don't really care which way it breaks at this moment in time. If it breaks below, we buy. Perfect. We follow the strategy because we can accumulate at lower prices. If it breaks above, brilliant, we can start looking at potentially taking profit on some of our investments. Now, remember, Bitcoin is the catalyst of the overall market. And if we see Bitcoin break lower, we can have a larger probability of all of the altcoins also trading lower. Now, there is also a bit of correlation between the stock market. So if we see the stock market continue lower, we could also see crypto continue lower as well. So it's all about just making sure you're on the right side of the fence, and either if it drops lower, having enough money to accumulate, following the strategy. Remember, it's always important to have a strategy in place. And then if it does break higher, don't be afraid to start taking profits, rolling over them profits into new projects that you might look at and go, do you know what? This is a good project that I'm not currently invested in. But if we look at our crypto side, we've not really accumulated any new coins. It's just been really market move sideways. It hasn't really fallen, risen. Obviously, we spoke about Uniswap and the previous week. There are strong projects out there at cheaper prices. So if you are new to cryptocurrency, you've got the likes of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Uniswap, Chainlink, Solana, Avalanche. There's so many coins out there for you to accumulate. Remember, this is not financial advice. Do your own research on this. But there are strong projects which are still 70-80% down for you to be able to buy, as long as you have a good, solid strategy alongside. So crypto-wise, we're not really doing much. We're going to see what happens with the stock market, but the expectation, in my opinion, is if we see stocks continue lower, the dollar continue gaining strength, we would then expect a break lower on cryptocurrency. So just make sure you are liquid enough when it comes to your investments. Swiftly moving on into our VCA, our investment strategy within stocks. Not real much movement once again here. Market has had a bit of a bearish move down, but it hasn't triggered any of our new limit orders for the investments we got. So we are still in a phase of accumulation. Remember, if we see the market being bearish, which potentially we're going to see a continuation lower, we then need to be liquid enough to continue buying. So over the next few days to potentially weeks, we could see new entries in our investments that we haven't taken profit on. But we have a new coin that we are looking at, and a new stock we're looking at, and that is Nvidia. So Nvidia Corporation is currently down 37% from its current high. Now, why are we choosing Nvidia? Number one, fundamentally, it seems to be favored by the market. So fundamentally, it has strength. So if we look at Nvidia here, what we're seeing is a good amount of income and sales. We're seeing an overvalued peg. That is natural for bigger companies, that the peg ratio is overvalued. But this could actually become more fairly valued the longer the market continues to fall lower. We are seeing good quick and current ratios. This is showing us that the company is liquid enough to cover its current liabilities by either current assets or the current cash that they hold. So there's no real worry about, are they liquid enough? The next thing is their debt is relatively low, which is great. Earnings is looking relatively strong. Institutional ownership looking good, and return on assets, equity and investment also looking good. So the company fundamentals are strong. Now, why did we have a decrease in price? And I know a lot of people are going to go, Keith, it's just the natural, it's the fall of the market. But yes, the overall market is falling, but the semiconductor sector has had a bit more of a bigger hit because there's a new legislation a few weeks ago which basically stipulate that any microchip companies cannot sell to China and Russia, okay, in the fear that they'll be used for weapons of war. Now, we don't want to go into that political jargon, but it just means that companies like Nvidia could be losing 8 to 10% of their revenue, which has then caused this market to fall lower. But with that being said, fundamentally, we are still in a strong company here. So it could be a good company for you to invest into. And even if they are losing 8% of their revenue, they are still liquid enough to cover that with the assets they own and the cash that they've got free. So overall, good company to look at for an investment, down 37% from its current high. But remember, do your own research and also be diversified. Do not just put all your money in semiconductors. Don't put all your money into tech. Be diversified between tech, pharmaceuticals, finance, commodities. We all know. Just be diversified. So that is it for trades of the week. But before we wrap up today, let's have a look at our results. And we had a Murambu this week where we've had a 1% win on Cake. And we also had a 1% loss on CHRW. So right now we have no change in our portfolio for Buffalo. So we're still looking at 62.2% increase over the last 2 years since August 2022, which is just below the average we're looking for, but still on par to where we're aiming to go. VCA, we are up at 1,076% on the money invested. No profits taken here, no new shares purchased because the market has had a bit of a drop but not triggered our entries. CCA, we're up at 1,510 on the money invested, and small cap, we're up at 4,320 on the money invested. Once again, we're still accumulating, waiting for that next bullish run up where we can start taking profits. So that is it for trades of the week. Hopefully you enjoyed this week and got a couple of golden nuggets, a couple of announcements. Remember to hit that alarm bell so you can see when we are releasing new videos, because we're releasing new videos not every week but every single day recently with new content. So hit that alarm bell, be notified. Also, drop a like on this video to say, did you enjoy what was happening? And also comment below, what is it that you're getting into? Also share your wins. We're a community here. Share any wins that you've had over the last few weeks, maybe investments you've taken, placing your first orders, or taking profits on a couple of the Buffalo trades like we are. And last but no means least, that's how you say it, Also, click on the button in the description to join the I Am Insider Facebook group. A lot of valuable information, and just be part of this amazing community, because we are all going to grow together. Other than that, I wish you an amazing week, and I will sure to see you on the next Trades of the Week.